So today is the anniversary of my favorite comedian's death. Bill Hicks passed away on this day back in 1994, and he was my all-time favorite comedian. I can't count the nights that I would spend up all night long on YouTube just binge watching every clip I could find. If you've never heard of him, I highly recommend the albums Rant in E Minor and Arizona Bay, back when people still made comedy albums. Those are two that I can pretty much quote from front to back. You just hit play and I can tell you what he's going to say before he says it. He was truly one of the greats, and there's very few out there today that I feel could even come remotely close to what he did as a comedian. But I will say my favorite living comedian is Bill Burr, and he has been on a roll lately. And he's been making a lot of headlines because he came out and he roasted Elon Musk. And then he came out and announced that his Twitter account was flagged after his roast of Elon Musk. So we're going to play this clip of Bill Burr. I will go ahead and give you a trigger warning. There's a lot of profanity in this one. But hear Bill Burr out on this one, and then we're going to talk more about how that comedy might be the thing that can defeat MAGA. Take a look.
The fucking Twitter guy for fucking Sieg Heiling, not once but twice. And I never look at my emails. I was scrolling through my emails and it said my Twitter account had been flagged for inappropriate. I don't even tweet anymore. It had been flagged for whatever. What a fucking baby. Just like Hitler. A fucking baby. How about the fact that the Twitter guy he's not even from here. He's from South Africa. He comes to this country and wants to turn it into a fucking dictatorship. He doesn't feel that we deserve democracy. Can you just imagine doing that? Going to another country and just deciding, yeah, you know what? I'm going to change this form of government because I've decided. Yeah, he doesn't mind living under a dictatorship as long as he's on the good side of it. Fucking laminated face cunt. Because that's another thing. All of these people that are into fucking Hitler, you know what I mean? And like, look at this guy like he was some sort of fucking hero. The guy's one of the biggest fucking cowards ever. All the pain and all the suffering that guy's caused, and the war crimes the Allies had to commit, firebombing fucking cities to get that motherfucker. When it came time for him to pay the price for all the suffering he caused millions and millions and millions of people, did he face the music? Nope. He gave himself a nice, quick, painless fucking death. That's your fucking hero? Fucking coward is what he was.
First of all, I love how he calls him the Twitter guy, and I love how he goes right for the throat and he does not pull punches. That is what we need more of. And when I said before I rolled the clip, I wanted to talk about how comedy might be able to be the thing to defeat MAGA. I just don't think that standing here and always taking the high road and always trying to be cookie cutter and clean cut is going to work with these people, because Donald Trump, whether we like it or not, has ushered in an era of politics that is completely different than anything we've ever seen before. And I don't think we can necessarily go about it the way that we did 10 years ago. We sure as hell can't do it the way we were doing it 20 or 30 years ago. The times, they are a-changing. And I really believe that in order to really connect with people, more people is going to have to speak off the cuff and speak from the heart, as though Bill Burr was doing right there. He does not hold back. He does not pull his punches. He doesn't mix words. That will resonate with more people than you may realize. I'm not saying in any way that Donald Trump is a normal guy when I say what I'm about to say. But Donald Trump is a guy, the way that he goes about speaking, he resonated with the average dude down at the loading dock. The average dude driving the forklift is who Donald Trump resonated with, because he does talk like just the drunk at the end of the bar. He talks like the crazy uncle at the cookout. And I think he's insane. I think he's one of the worst things that's ever happened to this country. But there are people who does speak that language. There are people who he does connect with because he speaks their language. If you've never been in a factory in East Tennessee, or you've never hung out in a dive bar in East Tennessee, then what I'm saying may not be making a whole lot of sense. But people speak off the cuff. People don't filter themselves. They let it go. They let it rip. They say how they're feeling. And a lot of people get gravitated towards Donald Trump because, love him or hate him, he just said what he was feeling. He just bullshitted out loud, and a lot of people got behind it. I really feel like that if we use that same tactic but for the greater good, and we speak up and call these people out for who they really are, I think we might be able to move the needle. Someone like a Bill Burr is going to connect with more people than Democratic politicians ever could. Someone like a Bill Burr is going to get more people to see through Elon Musk for what he really is, because right now they're just listening to Trump talk about how great he is. Then they turn around and hear one of their favorite comedians just ruthlessly roast the guy. That's going to make them stop in their tracks and go, wait a minute, I always liked Bill Burr. What's he saying, huh? And listen, Bill Burr is a guy who gives it to both sides. He doesn't pull punches on anybody. There's been plenty of times that he's ripped into the left, and there's been times that I felt like it was justified, and I sat back and laughed along with him. You know, he's definitely my favorite living comedian, and I'm not just saying that because of where he stands on Elon Musk. He's an extremely funny dude, and he can connect with people, and that brand of humor can connect with people. So I'm all for Bill Burr keeping on talking, and if he wants to roast me, I'd be honored to be roasted by Bill Burr, by the way. It wouldn't offend me at all. If he disagrees with something I said and ever roasted it, I'd play the clip and be proud that Bill Burr roasted me. But I really believe that people like that will be able to connect more so than we ever will, because comedy makes people think. If you can get people to laughing, at the absurdity of a situation, and if you're fearless like he is in that clip of just, I ain't holding back, I'm not holding back on this Twitter guy. If you will go into it and lean into it that way and be fearless about it, you'll stop people in their tracks and make them think. And there's a clip that I wished I could play, but I'm sure it's copywritten. It was a Bill Hicks clip that I always loved. But he was talking in an interview one time, and he said that a lot of people got offended at his brand of comedy because he said he had a guy walk up to him and say, I don't come to comedy to think. I come to comedy to laugh. I didn't come to think. And Bill Hicks said, well, where do you go to think? I'll meet you there. I always loved that line. I've actually got a tattoo inspired by Bill here on my arm, Love, Laughter, and Truth, because when he was dying of pancreatic cancer, the last words he wrote to his fans was, I left in love, laughter, and truth, and wherever love, laughter, and truth abide, I'm there in spirit. So he was always a hero of mine. But when he said that about where do you go to think, I'll meet you there, I've always loved that. I've had so many people I played music for 25 years. People came out to my shows. They was used to hearing me do Waylon and Merle Haggard covers and mixing in songs of my own that I wrote. They were used to seeing that side of me. They really didn't understand my political views or how I seen the world. And then when I began speaking up and speaking out and writing songs directly against the status quo, suddenly I got hit with, well, hold on a minute, Brando, what are you talking about? I didn't come to hear your political opinion, man. I didn't come here to think. And I would think of Bill Hicks, well, where do you go to think? I'll meet you there. I love Bill Burr. I think he's one of the funniest people out there, and I'm glad that he's roasting Elon, because it will get through to a lot of people. Some of you may not appreciate his foul mouth. Some of you may not appreciate some of the jokes that he's made in the past. But I will saddle up behind him and let him lay into Elon Musk all day long, and I will cheer it on, because there will be people, if you can get people to laughing, at the absurdity. I know it's hard these days, I'll be honest with you. As much as I love Bill Burr, I did see a skit that he did just right after the election, and I was still so depressed over everything that I couldn't watch the whole thing. He was talking about how that women was 0 for 2 against Trump, and Bill Burr's a great comedian, but I just had to stop that clip. I couldn't listen to it because I was depressed. But when he started laying into Elon, I was like, I'm so glad, because, so many of your heroes just turn out to be assholes. And so it was good to see that we were in line on our thoughts about Elon Musk. And I hope that Bill Burr continues to speak. I don't think he's ever going to shut up. I don't think he's ever going to get the memo that he spoke. I don't think flagging his Twitter account is going to stop him. If anything, it's going to cause him to dig in his heels harder. And that's what we all have to do. We all have to dig in our heels harder. You're not going to win this one sitting back on the ropes, just letting these people run crazy. You're going to have to come back at them. You're going to have to come back at them strong. You're going to have to, always be on the offense and come at them. And hold them accountable and hold their feet to the fire. And yeah, if you drop some F-bombs along the way, there's no such thing as bad words. There's only bad intentions. And I think Bill Burr had the best of intentions with what he said right there about Elon Musk, and I'm behind it.